Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First flag is Mensur to first. Game on.
It is first to 7, remember, in the semi-finals. Vincent will need reminding of that. He's not been in a semi-final since the extended format. Not been in a semi-final of any kind for 3.5 years until today. Rob Malarkey joins me to see if Mensur can take another step towards the title.
Well, this is Mensur Suljovic's 16th European Tour semi-final. He is well versed in this particular field. He's played 5 European Tour finals and he's won 2 of them. All 4 men left standing in this tournament have won European Tour titles before. Van der Voort was in Austria. Mensur Suljovic would love to win one on home soil.
Well, Vincent has been making a habit of taking out players from all over the world to get here. In qualifying, he beat the Spaniard Cristo Reyes and his fellow Dutchman Ron Meulenkamp. Then he saw off England's Justin Pipe, Australia's Simon Whitlock, Gerwyn Price, the Welsh #1. And then Cameron Menzies, who nominally is Scottish, but we're not really sure what planet he's from. Can he add an Austrian to the list?
60, Mensur 81.
And if he can, he'll then be hoping to add either a Scotsman or a Dutchman to the list as well.
Going the bullseye to try and guarantee a dart at the outer ring, which he will get. And which he will hit for a 12-dart start. Mensur Suljovic. He has faltered at some point every single time he has competed in his home country. He has had a below-par display, some kind of a let-down performance when it has looked like everything was set up for Mensur Suljovic to go and claim a title in front of his own fans.
And the crowd playing their part already, as you might expect them to do. Roby John Rodriguez, his departure means that Suljovic is the sole surviving Austrian. He is the sole focus of their affections now. Mensur has a terrific record against Vincent as well. Ever since their first meeting, which I am led to believe was at the BDO World Championship in 2002.
Yes.
So almost 18 years ago. Since then, Suljovic has been the dominant force, 8 wins out of 10.
The weird one, though, is that Vincent has won the 2 meetings on the European Tour. Once earlier this year, the Dutch Darts Masters, and once, fatefully, in Austria, in the semi-finals, on the European Tour, where Vincent went on to take the title. Can he level this game up with a 12-darter of his own? Well, no, he can't. He will leave himself on the double 14, which usually is Mensur's favourite, although he wouldn't have known it from his quarter-final where he missed 5 darts for the match at it against Ian White. Another in there to raise the roof. To raise the roof of the multiversum.
145.
Wow.
Vincent 28.
I, for one, was convinced that was going to go. Guess what? Van der Voort's on double 14. Mensur made a bit of a hash of this in his quarter-final. And Vincent has done likewise there.
Double 14, so often a saviour for Mensur Suljovic, has proved to be so again, but not in the way you usually expect it to be for Mensur.
Took out double 8 in the opener.
9.
Can't take out double 8 for a 2-0 lead.
9 is the call from Paul Hinks. 9 is the thought in Mensur Suljovic's head. Vincent levels up. Former major finalist, of course, Vincent van der Voort did make the final of the UK Open. That's going back a long way. Well, you could argue that the way he's played over the last year year and a half is probably as good as he was playing back then when he was threatening to make himself into a major champion.
Mentioned earlier that Suljovic is playing in his 16th European Tour semi-final. Peter Rice is getting ready for his 25th, and Michael van Gerwen is getting ready for his 43rd.
How many Euro Tours are we up to now? 80, something like that?
Certainly 75 at
75.
least.
So there you go. Peter Wright has made the semi-finals in a third of them. Michael van Gerwen has made the semi-finals in more than half. Astonishing.
140.
Needs to fill it up. And he's not going to do that, so Mensur Suljovic doesn't need to use the bullseye route. Not at the end, although he may go bullseye first dart. In fact, that's what I expect Mensur to do from here. Very European way of playing this, going for the bullseye first dart. Yep, double 13 now. Now double 16. And if Mensur Suljovic continues to hold throw with 12 darters, he will win this game.
Well, early days, but at the moment we've got roughly 22, 23 points difference in the averages. Mensur 114.38, the average right now, and he's 2 from 5 on his doubles as well.
Well, we have seen monster averages on the European Tour in the past from Mensur Suljovic.
45.
Seen him average in the low 110s, around that 112-13 mark. Some has to replicate that, but look, Michael van Gerwen has just posted the biggest average of this weekend, just over 106. Can either of these guys respond? Vincent, he was slow to get going against Cameron Menzies and then asserted himself. Mensur Suljovic may not afford him the opportunity to grow into the game, because he might have taken it away from him irretrievably by that point with the way that he started.
Yeah, another shake of the head there from Vincent. Always plenty of time to focus on the crowd while Mensur is sorting himself out.
100.
Don't think the pace is going to be too much of a problem. I mean, I know it can be for some players, but we pointed it out in the very first round of this tournament where Vincent van der Voort's got an excellent record against Justin Pipe, because it doesn't seem to bother him that much. He's gone for a little walk around the stage. He's not a player who is champing at the bit to get to the Okian throw. Yes, he's very quick once he's there, but doesn't seem to let it affect him. Doesn't seem to let much affect him, Vincent.
Well, we talked earlier about how most players seem to have a moment of good fortune on their way to putting together a good run on the European Tour, and certainly yesterday Vincent van der Voort had his moments of good fortune against Simon Whitlock. Whitlock led 3-0 in that one. He missed 3 darts at double 18 for a 4-0 lead, and I've got to say, if he'd taken that, you could not see van der Voort coming back. But once he got that leg on the board, he could just sense that the self-belief was there. Double 16 to level things up at 2 apiece. And he finds a way through.
Great dart from Vincent van der Voort to level this. The Dutch destroyer. Yeah, actually, curious. I say slow players shouldn't bother him. When he won in Austria 5 years ago, he managed to beat not only Mensur in the semis, as you said, but he beat Pipe then as well, and Brendan Dolan. Now, admittedly, not many of his games lasted very long. He only dropped 15 legs in 6 games. It was 6-2, 6-1, 6-2. It was only the final where he won in the last leg decider against Jamie Caven. But that was a dominant weekend from Vincent, who played in that tournament, as he has done here, as an unseeded qualifier.
100.
But then again, as we saw in the last European Tour event in the Czech Republic, Jamie Hughes had to come through the qualifiers, and he went on to claim the title. Strength in depth is such nowadays that it's not just the same old faces winning titles. It is not just the big boys.
Talking of speed of play, 506 seconds, 8 minutes 26 it took Michael van Gerwen. I think that's the official time we have now to see off Ricky Evans.
55.
And did you know, Dan,
Maybe.
the fastest ever completion of the Grand National course was in 5 minutes 27.
I did.
19 seconds faster, Michael van Gerwen. Sorry, 21 seconds faster.
I think that's. I think you told me that.
That was
There are
another
other
capacity
interesting comparisons, which we probably won't go into.
So Michael van Gerwen can win a Euro Tour quarter-final faster than a Grand National
100.
winner.
Mensur 96.
Mensur.
Just to give it some context.
Yeah, no, that's very. I mean, I'm trying to remember that. I think there was a game between Ricky Evans and Jelle Klaassen early this year on the Pro Tour where there was one leg took 45 seconds. That didn't take very long, did it?
Speeding through that one.
Well, he's winning legs, Mensur, 12, 12 and 14 darts. He is making life very, very difficult for Vincent van der Voort to break him.
100.
And having won the bullseye before they came out up on stage, Mensur knows that as long as he is very, very solid on his own throw and continues to be like that, then he could well walk away with a victory. But we saw Ian White won the bullseye against Mensur, looked very, very solid on his own throw. He had one leg where he wasn't good, started slowly, Mensur took advantage.
Yeah, and that's significant because, you know, the longer it goes on throw, sooner or later, Vincent van der Voort may just feel he has to just step it up. And that, in turn, may just lead to a case of van der Voort being overly aggressive. Plenty of aggression on the face of Suljovic after that second dart. Did not like that one bit. It has slightly made things awkward here for the third as well. And it's just a ton for Suljovic.
Well, you'd have to say Mensur has been the more consistent player. Vincent's averaging nearly 96 for the weekend in 50% of his doubles. I mean, that is good. That is good enough sometimes to win your titles. But Mensur's average is up towards 99. He's hitting 50% of his doubles. And there's been very little change in terms of, you know, it's been 96, 98, 102. It's right in that 100 average bracket. And at the minute, it's well over it. And we know Mensur can just live with those sorts of numbers. He's done it in very long format games.
89.
Including the longest ever game seen at the World Match Play in the final with Gary Anderson last year, where he was not very far away from becoming the World Match Play champion, Mensur Suljovic.
43.
It's the 43, not enough to pose any problems for Vincent, who's going to be allowed to hold throw pretty comfortably, it would seem. Again, misses outside. This time he can't cannon off it.
16.
But you're allowed to miss those ones, Vinny.
Vincent requires 16. Game shot on the sixth leg.
On we go, 3 apiece.
Someone is Mensur to throw first. Game on.
3-3. Remember, first to 7 in the semi-finals, first to 8 in the final. Opportunity for van der Voort to get the break of throw he needs. One that he is seizing upon. Oh, it's a little bit unfortunate. Still advantage to the Dutchman.
Well, Mensur Suljovic, I mentioned his 16 semi-finals. He has only won one of those semi-finals over the extended format in a first to 7 race. He's not had a great time of things in semi-finals since the introduction of the rule that you needed to win 7 legs to make your way through to the final. It was in Graz last year, of course, where he lost 7-6 to Johnny Clayton, but he's rattled in a ton 80 as he looks to put that to bed.
And a vital one as well. gets him to a finish. Vincent is going to leave himself on a two-darter. It's not the two-darter he would have liked. Oh, Mensur, treble 11 for the double 14. Oh, and he misses it again, and he cannot understand it, Mensur Suljovic. A whisker away from taking out 301 points in just 6 darts. Did he need to? No, he didn't.
Bit of venom with that final dart. Suljovic, well, he took out the 1-2-1 for a 2-1 lead earlier. Didn't quite manage the big check out on that occasion, but he's left himself double 14. And once again, he's missed it, not for the first time today by any stretch. Double 7, however, comes to his rescue. And Suljovic leads 4-3. 7 legs on the throw. And maybe, just maybe, the fact that Suljovic won the bull backstage, that could be the deciding factor in this one.
That is the first time in this match that Vincent van der Voort has even threatened to break the Suljovic throw, and he did not get a dart for the leg. There's still nearly, what, 14 points in the averages here. Mensur Suljovic is the aggressor. He is the better player in this game. But it's not just about being the better player, it's about being the better player at the right times. Look at that. 12-12, 14-14. He's making it difficult for van der Voort to break his throw.
16.
And if he's broken here...
Van der Voort, yeah, he's given Mensur opportunities with 16, or comparatively speaking anyway, 16, 18 and 17. He has something to work with here. 116 the deficit minus these.
100.
Well, you mentioned Mensur's record in semi-finals, and it isn't great, but it should be said, it took him a dozen attempts to make a final. He kept on hitting that semi-final stage and falling there in tournaments of all kinds, major tournaments, Pro Tour tournaments, floor tournaments, and the European Tour as well, before he finally got over the line. And his first win was on the Euro Tour in Riesa 3 years ago.
58.
But now he is a proven winner. He knows how to do it. This shouldn't be any mental block for Mensur. 170.
Oh, he's got it. That is absolutely delicious from Mensur Suljovic. And this is a gilt-edged opportunity for that first and so far elusive breaker throw. Van der Voort is on a ton 30 and ready to pounce just in case he gets the chance. Has found double 8 already tonight in this semi-final, and he finds it again, and there is the breakthrough. It's come in the 8th leg, and Suljovic is 2 away.
Has Vincent got a plane to catch, or are you just checking social media, or has he just got a stopwatch?
Or maybe he's just amended his table reservation. It might be sooner than he initially reserved.
60.
I've never seen that before.
No, I'm not sure. Quick, text him. Tell him to put another 15 points on his average. He's got a real chance of turning this round.
60.
Shake of the head from Vincent. It's just not really been
95.
there. Against Cameron Menzies, it wasn't great, but it improved as the game went on. But here, he's not been able to find a way to step it up and gradually move through the gears, whereas Mensur has just, I don't think his average has dropped below 100 at any point in this game. Started with a 12-darter, and then ever since then, the average has been going between 100 and about 110.
96.
And it's just been relentless. This is why Mensur Suljovic is in the top 10 in the world rankings. Consistent excellence.
40.
Well, he's still not down to a finish. Can Van der Voort make his move?
100.
Made a move, but I'm not sure it's a significant enough move.
Well, yeah, judging by his reaction, he wanted, well, he knows he needed a lot more than that.
134.
And despite that little wobbly visit prior to that one, Suljovic back on course.
Well, it might be.
Hang on a moment.
Oh, Vincent van der Voort smashes in a 150 checkout. It looked, for all the world, like Mensur Suljovic was going to get darts for 6-3, but is that a game changer?
Well, that is what Vincent van der Voort can do. We have seen him do that before, just pull out all these big visits, these big checkouts. Just when it looks as though a match might be slipping through his fingers, he can summon up a visit like that. And, wow, that was stunning.
Well, I mean, he does have the highest checkout of the tournament so far, the 161 that he produced in his second round win against Simon Whitlock, and that was a big part in coming from behind.
Yeah, it was a 12-dart break of throw, that one. And it gave him a 4-3 lead, having almost trailed 4-0 with those missed darts at double 18 that I mentioned earlier. It was a mood changer. It was a game changer.
When he won the Austrian Darts Open title 5 years ago, there was a 136 checkout against Jamie Caven that turned that final, forced a last leg decider, which Vincent won. Those big checkouts at the right time, those iron ring moments, they're the ones that can prove to be the difference. And if Vincent van der Voort were to win his first title in half a decade, at the end of this weekend, he might look back on that moment as being the pivotal one.
And let's not forget as well that in his first match against Pipe, he had that checkout of 100 on tops. Just when it looked as though Pipe might threaten to get back at 5-5 as well, there have been moments. I mean, I think the most comfortable match he had was the 6-1 win earlier today against Gerwyn Price. He was never in any bother whatsoever in that one.
Yeah, certainly his best performance. If he hadn't missed a few darts for the match late on, it would have been his highest ever average on the European Tour. As it was more than 103. But Mensur Suljovic
96.
has given himself an opportunity here. He's just seen a 150 checkout smashed in against him. He's left a 154 for himself.
60.
Oh, that's a frustrating one, and Vincent, you can see he's not happy with that at all.
Well, this would be one heck of a riposte from Mensur Suljovic, having just witnessed the 150 checkout from Van der Voort. If he could pull this 154 out of the bag.
94. Vision required 109.
One treble required for Vincent. He's got it. Single 17. Is that the route? Is he changing his mind? Where are you going? He's gone 9 for tops.
89.
Was that the right decision?
Mensur
Why
60.
did he go that route? He certainly was looking down the board and changed his mind.
And he does like that corner of the board as well. And Suljovic, all of a sudden, has the break back. 3 breaks on the spin. We had 7 successive holes of throw. And now we've had 3 successive breaks. And Suljovic is 1 away. And Van der Voort may still be reflecting on that decision to go for 9 and tops.
Mensur Suljovic throwing for a place in the final. Never before have we seen Mensur make the final in his home country. When he spoke earlier on after beating Ian White, he said he thinks this could be it. Absolute silence from the vast majority of the crowd here as Vincent puts in a second maximum.
Loads of room.
137.
Well, Mensur might be about to put in another one of those 4-visit legs on his own throw, and if that happens, then Vincent van der Voort goes out of the tournament in the semi-finals because there is nothing he can do to stop Mensur. One good setup shot, and he is on the brink of a first ever ranking final in his home country.
'93. Mensur 134.
Well, there's no doubt he's been the better player in this game. But can he make it count? Can he get the job done? Can he give himself a chance? Book his place in the final. Just misses the treble 14. But he will get 3 match darts unless Vincent van der Voort can pull another rabbit out of the hat.
On this occasion, however, there is no rabbit forthcoming for Vincent van der Voort, and Mensur Suljovic, with an average of just over 101 right now, is looking at tops for a 7-4 win and a place in the final on home soil. And the agony goes on. Oh. Heartache for the Suljovic clan.
Vincent, I think he thought it was over. I think a lot of the fans here thought it was over. 18th segment. Now the ball.
63.
It might be over now.
Well, it all boils down to this moment for Mensur Suljovic. Vienna expects. The crowd expects. What can we expect? We can expect to see Mensur Suljovic compete in a European Tour final on home soil for the first time in his career. The gentle pins double 5 and comes through a bruising encounter with Vincent van der Voort. It was a match that Suljovic always seemed to have a level of control over until that 150 checkout from van der Voort threatened to turn it the way of the Dutchman. But Mensur Suljovic came good again, and Suljovic goes through